Hey everyone, in this FC24 How to Sell Players Ultimate Team video, I'm going to show you exactly that. I'm also going to show you how you get the best price for your player and help answer any questions like if you can't sell a player, what may be the issue. So we're on the main root page of Ultimate Team here, and to move across the top bars we use LB and RB on the Xbox or L1, R1 on the PlayStation, or if it's a different button it should show just above the news tab there for you. So I'm going to hit RB here and go over to club, not transfers, club, and I'll show you why. So we enter the club. Down the bottom, you see bottom left it says A to select for me. That'll show X on the PlayStation or a different button if you're on the PC. So we jump into here and then we've got the squad. So I want to enter my squad. Squad, where are you? Now you can see my squad is a mix. It's some good, some bad. It's because it's very early days. The game has just literally launched on early release, so I'm just playing around. But I want to get this covered because I've done it for FIFA 21 right the way through, and now EA FC 24. So we have our players here. Now, generally your first team you probably don't want to sell, but you will probably have some players that you can sell. However, not all players. So let's figure out who we can sell and who we can't. So first of all, what I suggest you do is go over to club. So on that top bar again, RB for me or R1 on the PlayStation, or look just above transfer market if it's a different button for you. So this is the area where we've got players that in theory we're not using at the minute. You may decide, actually, I really should use that player, or you may decide, actually, I'm quite happy to sell that player. Now, there's a couple of different things to keep an eye on here. First of all, don't get all excited. I haven't got a sellable Haaland here. This is a loan player, so I can use this player for 10 games, and then he is finito. You cannot renew him, you cannot sell him. Don't get excited about loan players. They are just a short-term boost for your team. Now, we can, in theory, sell some of these players, but which players can we sell? So a quick way of checking is if you just have a little look at the player here and press the right stick button down the bottom there, you see it says details. So if I press that, what we're looking for is just to the side of me there, you see it says trade status tradable. Happy days, that means I can sell this player. I'm also going to cover what's an untradeable player and how we find them in just a second. But let's say we want to sell this player. Down the bottom there you see it says actions. So for me that's X, so use whatever button it shows there. And you have two options. You can either quick sell and you will immediately get 596 coins in this case. The amount that you get varies on the player and by his rating or her rating. And of course, you know, the higher the rating, the higher the quick sell. I suggest you rarely do this. What you want to first of all have a little look at is this one, compare price. So I'm moving over with my left stick here, so diagonal top left, to compare price. If we then select it with A, we can see what other people are selling this player for, and this gives us an idea of what he's selling for. So nobody's bought it at 4,200 in the time that this one has been selling. And what we've got here is the start price is a little auction. So this is saying lowest price this person is prepared to sell it for is 1,100. Somebody's put a bid in at 1,100, so they will win it in 7 seconds. Somebody could buy it now immediately for 30,000. You'd have to be nuts to spend 30,000 on this player. Now, as you go through these players, you'll get an idea of roughly what the player is worth. So this is kind of like the lazy method of checking how much you should sell your player for. It's a little hard in this area to see what's the lowest buy it now that you could get for it, but generally we can see people are selling this at 1,200 or thereabouts, so that's a realistic price for this player at the minute. Now, this varies depending on when you sell the player. So if you put the player up for auction, say early in the morning, you're likely to get a lower price for it than if you sold it at prime time in the evening, because more players are online and more competition. The other thing to bear in mind is the launch date of the game. So me selling a player now is probably not the best of ideas because it's still early days access while I'm making this video, and so there's not so many buyers of the cards. But I'm going to do that anyway, just because I'm a lovely guy. Okay, so we're going to do that. So if I say, right, I'm happy with this, I'm going to come back out of this view, and we know that in theory we can get about 1,100 to 1,200 for this player. So we go down to list on transfer market. So I hit that with A, and then we've got a starting price 1,100. That's the lowest I can set this player at. So this player, you know, with certain players you can't set it close to the quick sell price, you have to sell it higher. So that's the starting price, and what I've used there is a left trigger to quickly go to the one bid above this for the buy it now price. So what this means is I'm not really interested in an auction. If somebody wants to pay 1100, they can and they would win it. But if they want to buy it now at 1200, they would get it for that. Now I'm putting this on aggressively priced because I'm hoping it'll sell quick just for the purpose of this video. But you could move this up if you wanted to have a little more, room and see how it goes. The other thing you've got is the duration. So I could put this up for an hour, 3 hours, 6 hours, or whatever. And if it hasn't sold within that point, you will get the player show in your transfer area, which I'm going to show you in just a second. And then you can send the player back to the club or relist the player for sale. So we're going to do that. So we could also hit the compare price area here just to check we're happy with that. But I'm hoping this will sell at that. You can also see how many players you've got listed on the transfer market. You can list up to 100 at any one point. You can't go above that, but that's normally fine for most players. So we're now going to list him on the transfer market. So for me, that's X on the PlayStation. So I hit that. Congratulations, your item is now officially live on the transfer market. One thing to note is it says successful transfers are charged a 5% transaction fee based on the final transfer price. So you won't quite get the 1200, you're going to get that less 5%. So my maths is rubbish, so what's that? Less 60. So we're going to get 1160? Is that right? I don't know. Maybe. So that's what we're going to get taken off of it. And the reason why they do that is if you're looking to flip players, if you're looking to buy players, and then you're looking to sell them, they try and make sure that you can't just, make easy money. So they take a small cut. I say they, EA Sports do. So that player is now listed for sale and disappeared. So while we're here, let's just have a little look and see if we've got any untradeable players. These two lone ones would indeed be untradeable. So if we look at this, if we look at the details with the right stick details, you can see trade status untradeable. You can also use your filters to quickly find what players have the highest quick sell. So down the bottom you see it says search, press Y, and then here we can go with our advanced filters and say untradeable only, so we could have off or on. But if you go to the sort by, and then I'm using my right stick to go across to highest quick sell, and then come out of this with B or circle on the PlayStation, then choose your search. It should in theory search by your most valuable players. So sorry, I don't know how to pronounce this lady's name, Pacheco or something like that. So she's my next most valuable in terms of highest quick sell. So in theory, she would be highest on the auction as well. So if we wanted to sell her, again, actions, we go here, quick sell, indeed she is a tradable player. Now we will probably find down here somewhere some untradeable players, but we'll have to see because it's early days. Let's have a little look. So I just want to show you. There you go. So this guy here is one that I've got in a pack that's untradeable, so I cannot sell him. Right, so let's go and see what's going on the transfer market. So I'll back out of here and we'll talk about that. So here's the transfer market. So I'm on the root menu, just using right B to go over to transfers. And then I use A to select. If it's a different button, look down the bottom left. In the transfer market, we can either search the transfer market or we can go to transfer list and see who the heck we've got for sale. So on the top bar, you see it says transfer market, right button or R1 on the PlayStation to transfer list, and then a view transfer list. So what this shows me is 4 are selling and 1 is sold. Let's have a little look. So when a player is sold, like Antonio Silva here, it will show you what they sold for. So we can see that I had the buy it now price of $7.50. Somebody put in at that price, so we sold it for that amount of money. That money is added to your UT coins up the top there. So that has automatically been added for me, and you can then clear the sold items by hitting the right trigger or R2 on the PlayStation. If it's a different button, look on the bottom bar and you'll see what that is. So we hit right trigger. He's then cleared away from here. These other players are the ones I've got currently listed. So remember, Mulo is one that we added. So we can see what's going on with this. This would be more interesting if we were having auctions going on. But because I've locked this so tight, we've got no bids going on. No bids, because these are all listed very tightly. So this one has got 21 minutes to go, and I'm seeing nobody's added, anything for him. So what happens if they don't sell is they will show here on the right hand side. So it says no buyer was found for this item, relist or expired items. Down the bottom, you've got some options. We can try listing again, or we could do the whole lot. If we had loads of these unsold, we could hit right trigger, relist all, and that would do them all. But if you want to do them individually, we just hit A, and then we could try listing her at a different amount and see whether we could get anything else for her. So I could lower the buy it now price just behind my head here. I'll just show you, Let's move here to 350, so I've dropped it by 50 to see whether she'd sell at that. It might be an idea, as she hasn't sold, to have a little look at the compare price and just see what other people are trying to get for her. And we can see people are not selling at 300, 350, so at the minute there's not much demand for this particular player. But I'll try listing again at that point. So we'll list on the market here and do this again. So we could hit A there and list. However, I'm just going to back out and talk about something else you may want to do, which is if you want to send the player back to your club. So maybe you'll think, actually, that's not worth it at the minute. I want to send them back to club so I can use them in a game. So we could do that. So down the bottom, you see it says Actions X. So I hit that, and then I've got these options. I could either quick sell. So as she's not selling at 300, I could quick sell for 284. Or I could send her back to the club, which is what I'm going to do. And then she will be sitting back in club view, ready for me to use in a team or quick sell later, entirely up to you. So there you go. That's how to sell players in FC24. I hope that was useful to you. If it was, give us a thumbs up, please. That's much appreciated. Any comments welcome. I'd love to know what you think of the latest release of the game, whether you think it's good or bad, or things that you're stuck on, or even if you just like this video and you want to say thanks. That all helps the YouTube algorithm know this was a good video, so thank you for doing that. I'll also put up a playlist with tutorials. That's going to grow considerably over time. I did over 100 tutorials for FIFA 23. I'll be doing the same for FC24. So if you like what you see, do hit that subscribe and you'll be kept up to date with my latest and greatest. I don't just cover FC24, but many other games too. So have a little look around the channel and I hope you like what you see. Thanks for watching.